Good morning, guys. Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live, but so glad to have you checking this out. What's up to my live crew this morning? Great to see y'all this morning, and so glad to have you here. I appreciate you guys coming in to hang out with me on this Freestyle Friday workshop morning. Great morning to you, Kim Wendy. Nice to see you, my friend Bill. What's up, buddy? Thank you for being here. Tracy, great morning to you. Alexis, I see you, and Alex, I see you as well. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm excited to do this morning, guys. This is a new concept for me and something that I'm going to be doing every single week. So my Freestyle Friday workshops are going to be content loaded, value loaded, just great information on a particular topic that we're going to work through in workshop style format. Meaning I'm not just going to hammer you with content and then send you out about your day. We're going to have a little more dialogue and conversation with these. So this morning we're going to be talking about social media mapping. I'm going to be walking you through some specific things that every single content creator really needs to be doing to become a great and highly effective content creator. The timing of this particular topic is on purpose because I'm going to be walking you through this morning a 30-day map for what you need to do to get yourself set up to be a great content creator. And today, October 16th, 2020, is exactly 30 days for when my Black Friday promotions are going to land on the market in November, November 16th, 2020. So we're going to be talking about how to set up that 30-day map for yourself. This hopefully this is going to be a really good help to you for those guys that are figuring out how to position yourself from a great Black Friday season and knowing exactly what you need to be doing. So I'm going to be walking you through this morning every single day for 30 days what you need to be doing. That's a lot to cover. We're going to do it as quickly as we can, and then we're just going to have dialogue throughout. Also, I'm going to be hooking you guys up with some freemiums today. All right, so I've got my notes. I've got a 30-day content map that I want to give you. Also, a 7-day content planner that I want to hook you guys up with as well. So make sure you hang out to the end of this because I'm going to give you a link to grab those things. I'm also going to give you my notes for this training. I'm going to give you all the details, all the notes, which is going to tell you exactly what you need to do every single day for 30 days to be basically awesome for Black Friday. All right, Kathleen, good morning to you, girl. Thanks for coming in from Myrtle Beach. Excited to see you in here, and I appreciate you. Jackie, good morning to you. Guys, we're going to get right to it. We got a lot to cover, so hang tight. Let's dive right in. All right, y'all. Justin Kaplan Pro is my name. JustinKaplanPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your ideas into a profitable and scalable brand, leveraging the power of social media marketing. If you're new to the channel, guys, I would love to have you subscribe. I put up 4 new videos every single week from Tuesday through Friday. Tuesday is tech tips. Wednesday is Wednesday in the Word. Thursday is strategy sessions. And every single Friday, I do these live Freestyle Friday workshops where I'm unpacking valuable content for you in workshop style. And I'm going to hook you up with a whole bunch of freemiums along the way as I do these Friday workshops. Also, FYI, every single Friday, I'm going to do a giveaway. There's criteria to the giveaway. All right, so I need to make sure that you're paying attention to me. A couple things you're going to want to do right now if you want to be in line for my future giveaways is, first of all, you want to make sure that you check me out on Facebook and subscribe to be a friend of mine on Facebook, because I always post my Freestyle Friday workshop ahead of time. So make sure you get plugged to me on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And then every single Thursday when I post what my Friday workshop's going to be, there's some criteria that you need to meet. So today I'm going to have a giveaway, and I'll be doing giveaways every single Friday as well. All right. Let's get to it, shall we? I've got a lot I want to tell you, but we just got a lot to cover. All right, so we're just gonna get right to it again today. We're doing a Freestyle Friday workshop. I'm hooking you guys up with a 30-day map for exactly what you need to be doing to position yourself to be a great content marketer and to be a great social media marketer that really gets results and really gets traction. All right, I think we can all agree that social media marketing is a bit it can be exhausting. Y'all agree with that? You want to put that in the chat stream? Like, yes or no, it can be exhausting. Keeping up with all the things, keeping up with the posts and the videos and what do I share and how do I share it? Yesterday, I gave you some content tips in case you missed that. I gave you some content strategy 101 yesterday and just sharing with you a few different ideas on how to be a great content marketer, but I want to just pick up from there and tell you exactly what you need to do. Today is not just about outlining a content map. More so, it's about basically telling you really everything that you need to do to really be able to be a great content marketer for the long haul. All right, so that's why I'm going to be walking you through 30 days of exactly what you need to be doing. I hope you are juiced up on coffee. Y'all, who's my coffee drinkers out there? I am juiced up on coffee. I'm always drinking coffee, but some of y'all are tea drinkers. That's cool. But I hope you are juiced up with whatever your morning beverage is, and I hope you have a pen and lots of paper in front of you and no carpal tunnel, because you're going to be writing a whole bunch today. So get ready to write, because we're going to go through these 30 days really, really quickly. All right. All right. So number one, first thing I'm going to give you, day one. Day one is you want to establish your goals for social media and really figure out what are you really trying to accomplish with your social media marketing. All right. Establishing clear marketing goals is really the first step towards transforming a strategy and really getting yourself set up to be successful in doing what you want to do. So a couple of examples of some goals that you might want to establish for your social plan might be maybe you want to drive website traffic. Maybe you want to raise brand awareness and just get yourself out there and get people understanding who you are. Maybe you want to boost brand engagement. So maybe you've been doing this for a little while, and you've been in the social marketplace for a while, but maybe you just don't feel like your brand is getting that much engagement. So you're trying to get some engagement. So that might be your mission or your goal. Maybe it's to generate some new leads and to get some new connections out there. So in a lot of cases, social media marketing doesn't always have to be about selling. In some cases, it can just be about connecting and knowing that those connections might lead to some sales. So maybe it's just to generate some new leads. Maybe it's to nurture some new leads. Maybe you're trying to build a community around your business, which is a tremendously powerful thing to do. And I highly recommend trying to focus on community whenever possible, because whenever you can rally a group of people around you, that becomes a tremendously powerful group to leverage for the long haul, right? So building a community around your business might be a thing. It might also be your mission or your goal might just simply to establish some authority in your market or in your lane or even in your local area or some industry expertise, and just give people an opportunity to experience you. So whatever your goal is, it's important for you up front to determine what it is that you really, really want to accomplish with your social media marketing plan, and to get that established up front. So I'm going to give you day one. This is a 30-day plan, and again, I'm going to give you this map. Good morning, Camille. Great to see you this morning. I appreciate you, buddy. Again, I'm going to hook you guys up with this 30-day map at the end of this broadcast, so you'll be able to get this. And this is basically going to outline every single day what you need to be thinking about and accomplishing. And this really is going to be a check the box activity for you, where you can make sure that you are getting all of these things set up for yourself. So day one is to establish goals, or establish your goals and figure out what it is that you really want to accomplish with your social marketing. All right. Day two is you want to establish your success metrics. What does that mean? What that means, your success metrics is how are you going to define the success of your social efforts? I want you to decide which metrics are going to provide you with the right type of data so that you can determine whether or not your social media is successful. And as you determine that, you want to set some standards for your social campaigns or whatever it is that you're doing to make sure that you can measure basically what it is you're trying to accomplish. So if you're trying to generate new leads, if that ends up being your goal, then how many new leads do you want to generate on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis? If you're trying to raise brand awareness, if that's your goal, how are you going to measure and determine whether brand awareness is being raised? Maybe you're going to be able to measure that through visits to your website and hits on your downloadable forms or something. Maybe it's just simply to drive website traffic. You can measure that through Google Analytics. If you're trying to build if you're trying to build a community around yourself, if that's your goal, then maybe you can measure that by how many new people join your Facebook group. Whatever that is for you, whatever your goal is, you need to define up front what are the metrics that you want and need to measure on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and put a mechanism in place and a plan in place for how you are going to track those. I have a quote of mine that I say all the time, and those guys that are my clients, you've heard me say this: what gets measured, gets managed, gets multiplied. All right? What gets measured, gets managed, gets multiplied. You can't measure something that you're not managing, and if you're not managing it or measuring it, you're not going to multiply it. But as soon as you start putting eyes on specific things that you're doing, that's when you tend to start really getting some results from it. So defining those metrics is important. That is day number 2. Also, guys, we're just a quick reminder, I love comments and I love interaction. So if you guys have questions for me along the way, don't hesitate to drop those questions in the chat stream, because again, this is a workshop, not just a live training. So I'm super glad that you're here, and I'd love to be able to interact with you. So if you do have questions for me as I go through this, because I am going to go quick, but if you do have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I am live, in case any of you guys are wondering that. I'm happy to answer those questions as we do this live, all right? Ken Wendy says, mine is going to be website, freebie, and my group. I love that. So you're going to focus on driving traffic to your website, downloading freemiums, and building your community. I love that spectacular focus area, Kim. I love that, and thank you so much for sharing, all right? Let's keep going. We've talked about establishing your goals for social. That's day 1. And again, in case any of you guys missed it, I'm sharing this 30-day plan with you in a very timely season right now. So it's October. Today, when I'm doing this live, is October 16th, 2020. Exactly 30 days from now, November 16th, 2020 is when I will be dropping my Black Friday promotions to the market. All right. So I have pretty much exactly 30 days to when I reveal what I'm doing for Black Friday. So if I've got any of you out here that haven't even thought about Black Friday yet, you're like, you have no idea what you're going to do, right now is the time to start working on this. And you could still apply this strategy and take the next 30 days to go all in on this and get yourself set up for a spectacular Black Friday season. And just a quick FYI on this one, some of you guys are like, well, Justin, November 16th is not Black Friday. Black Friday is actually November 27th this year. Correct. But this year, Black Friday 2020 is going to be different than any other year. Now, different is not always bad. Different is good. And I'm actually going to have a lot of discussion about Black Friday next year. 3 of the broadcasts that I do next week are all going to be about helping you get set up for Black Friday. All right. But what I want you to be aware of, Jesus Coffee and ready to go. I love it. Good morning, Maggie. What I want you to be aware of with this year's Black Friday is that because of COVID and all the things, the Black Friday selling experience is going to shift dramatically to the online space. Now, it was already moving to the online space over the past couple of years, but it's going to shift dramatically to the online space. But what's happening is because of the loss of the mass retail traffic that's going to happen in the stores, that's not going to happen this year. So what's happening is retailers, even big box retailers, are moving to the online space. But now the online space competition is really ramping up, so everybody's backing up and going earlier. Places like Walmart are doing full-fledged Black Friday season deals all through the month of November. Places like Home Depot are actually ditching at their actual Black Friday promos, and they're actually going to do a full month of November and December promotions. So everybody's backing up. What does that mean for you? So for us as small businesses and online marketers, we need to be focusing on getting our offers out as early as possible. So for me, every year, usually when I do Black Friday, usually my Black Friday promotion opens up for enrollment on Black Friday. And then I usually run it for a week after Black Friday, and I close enrollment a week later. This year, if you wait till Black Friday to launch your offer, you're too late. I think Black Friday is too late this year. So for me, what I'm going to do this year is my Black Friday promotions are actually going to come to the market on Monday, November 16th. And I'm going to run and open those promotions for 2 weeks leading up to Black Friday. So Black Friday will be actually closed enrollment day. Black Friday for me will be the last day that you'll be able to enroll in what I'm bringing to the market, not the first day. So just an FYI on what I'm doing and what I would advise you to do. You want to make sure you get out early, because there's going to be a lot of things for people to spend their money on beginning in November. And the average consumer this year will spend between $450 and $500 on Black Friday, which is a decent spend, considering COVID and all the things. So people can blow through $400 and $500 pretty quickly when all these Amazon deals and Walmart deals and Target deals all hit early November. So you want to get your offer out quickly. I know that was a quick segue, but it's important for you to understand why we're doing this and why we're digging into this strategy early on. All right, getting a jump on the market absolutely can, because people will spend money. All right, this is the thing I want you to get about Black Friday, is that you don't have to try to convince people to spend money this year. They're going to spend money. The average consumer this year, 2020, is going to spend between $450 and $500. Average consumer across the board, across the world. That's statistics for 2020 Black Friday, all right? So you don't have to convince them to spend their money. What you got to do is you got to convince them to spend their money on you and let them see that you have something that's what they want to spend their money on this year. So very important to think about that. All right, so let's get back to our things. We've talked about establish your goals for social, define your success metrics. Day 3, and the way I'm giving this to you is I'm giving you a very clear focal point that you need to focus on every single day. So you focus your first day on getting my goals established. What are my goals? Day 2 is define your success metrics. Now, you can work through this quicker, right? It's up to you. I mean, some of y'all may work through this in a matter of a few days if you just blow through it. But it's just a good map of what you should be really focusing on every single day. Day 3 is to list out your challenges. All right, so this task is simple. Make a list of the challenges that you're facing when it comes to social media marketing. Think of any barriers that are keeping your social content from making its biggest impact. And as you list out those challenges, write out some simple explanations of how those barriers are impacting your marketing efforts or your overall business success. And really think about what you need to do to overcome those, right? This is where you have to outline the excuses that are going to come up. The excuses that you're going to make for yourself, the things that are going to stop you, inhibit you, the things that have stopped you or inhibited you in the past. And you need to identify those things, call them out, name them, and then determine how you're going to overcome them. Because if you don't name those things and you don't start working intentionally to break through those things, guess what? Those excuses will continue to plague you for forever. Because how long have they plagued you? I mean, how long have you dealt with those same issues, those same frustrations, those same distractions, those same things that are continually stopping you from doing what you know you need to do? All right, so this is the season right now to outline those things, because if you have a goal, if you have a mission, if you have a desire to really make this selling season a tremendous one, despite COVID and despite everything that 2020 has thrown at us, this season has the potential to be the best selling season you've ever experienced in your life. Does somebody want to declare that? Somebody put I declare it in the chat stream, will you please, if you declare that. I declare that over you. I declare abundance and breakthrough in Jesus' name. I declare supernatural increase. I declare that God sets you up with kingdom connections that provide amazing business flow, new opportunities, new successes, new breakthroughs, new leads, new connections in your sphere of influence. In Jesus' name, I declare. Somebody want to declare that and accept that today? I want to see people thriving through this season and have an amazing selling season that's something that's beyond what you could have ever possibly asked for or imagined, all right? Let me just preach at you a little bit this morning, shall I? All right, so that's important. We got to figure out what your challenges are, and we got to break through those. Day 4. Once you've figured out in day 3 what you figured out what your challenges are, day 4 is to brainstorm solutions. This is simple. You want to decide how you are going to overcome the challenges you outlined, and then you're going to make a commitment to the solutions that you establish. All right? So while you take a day to really outline what your challenges are, what your frustrations are, what your distractions are, I want you to set aside those challenges, and then on day 4, I want you to spend a day focusing on brainstorming solutions to those problems and figuring out, making a commitment to yourself on what you're going to do to overcome those challenges, all right? That's day 4. Day 5. We're in week 1 still, all right? I'm walking you through 30 days. This is a 30-day planner for how you can become a tremendous social media marketer, all right? Day 5 is to analyze the competition. It's important to do it, and we need to do it, all right? Day 5, if you are running out of ideas, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, run a competitive analysis and figure out who your competition is. It's interesting because I guess you'll get this once you see what my Black Friday promotions are this year. But my Black Friday promotions this year are different than what I've ever offered on Black Friday before. It's going to be tremendously different. So because what I'm offering on Black Friday is different, my competition is a little different this year. I have to look at my competition differently. So it's important to understand anytime you bring anything to market, understand who's up against you. And it doesn't mean that these people are necessarily trying to compete with you. This is how I look at competition. Competition is not necessarily someone that I'm competing with. Competition is simply what options you have as a consumer. That's it. That's how you look at it. Because no matter what it is that you're selling, every consumer has options, all right? Every one of you have options, just like you have options for where you spend your time this morning on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock my time. You have options for where you spend your time. And so what am I going to do to convince you that this is a good use of your time to spend with me to learn this? Just like when I offer something for sale, when I'm offering something for sale, I need to understand and recognize that you have options. Right? You can spend your money on what I'm making available, or you can spend it somewhere else. So when I'm doing a competitive analysis, I need to recognize that there's going to be certain people that are going to be highly attracted to what it is that I'm making available, and they're going to seriously consider it. But while they're seriously considering it, they also need to look at if I'm going to spend my money here, that means that I'm not going to spend my money there. Or there, or there, or there, right? People are going to have to decide. So it's important for you to understand where's the spend being divvied up, right? How are people what are they trying to decide between, and what are you potentially up against when you're trying to sell something, all right? So analyzing the competition is important. A couple things to consider as you analyze your competition for your social marketing is ask yourself, which marketing channels are your competitors using, and are they successful in those channels? So if you recognize someone that is maybe one of your number one or top 5 competitors, possibly someone that your audience may be paying attention to, what are they doing that you're not? Right? Are they on YouTube really growing their YouTube channel and you're not? Are they running paid advertising and you're not? Are they leveraging Instagram stories or Facebook stories to really connect on a personal level and you're not, right? You just need to figure out what marketing channels are those competitors using, and are they successful in those channels? Another question to ask yourself is, what are your competitors talking about, and are those topics leading to high audience engagement? Pay attention to what your competitors are doing on social. I mean, this is why I put this at the very beginning. Where am I? I'm on day 5, right? Day 5, beginning. You want to get a look at what your competition is doing, and you can use that as fuel to give you ideas, or you can use it as enlightenment to adjust or enhance your strategy, right? One of the things I'm going to talk about next week that's going to be very important for this year to being successful in the selling season is to have a multifaceted social strategy. More so than ever. For the past couple years, I have been fairly singular in my social media marketing, meaning that I just go all in on one channel, and it's usually always been video. And for the past 2 years, it's really been Facebook. It's just been going all in on Facebook, really doing a lot of video content, a lot of posts, but I was very singular in my strategy. This year, I firmly believe it's going to have to be multifaceted, and it's going to have to involve a lot of things. It's going to have to involve video, YouTube, social posts, engaging posts, stories. It's a lot. I'm going to cover this next week. I'm going to unpack this in depth, so I don't want to get too deep into that topic. But it is important to be looking at that now and really understanding what all is going to have to go into your social strategy for this selling season and beyond, all right? Another just last question to ask yourself as you're considering your competition is, are there areas where our are there areas within our social strategy that we are currently outperforming our competition, or that we can leverage that our competition isn't doing? So maybe you've got competition that's doing a lot of good stuff with maybe Instagram and Facebook, but they're not doing a lot of video, and you're really good on video. How can you leverage that and basically leverage whatever your skill is? So maybe there's something that you're really good at, and you're really good at. Leverage that. One of the things that I'm really good at, is video. I think I'm one of the best in the social media market, and that's not cocky. I just believe I just am. I'm good at video, and I know I'm good at video. So I do a lot of my marketing efforts are put into video because I know I'm effective on video content. There's certain things that I know I'm not good at, like email marketing is not really my thing. I do send some emails, but there's so many people and a lot of competition that I have that are really, really good with email marketing. I'm learning from that, and I'm trying to leverage that as a game that I know I have to get into because my competitors are there. But I know that while my competition may be really good with email, I'm really good with video. So they may be leveraging their email list. I may be really engaging my audience with video content. So you want to think about that. You want to figure out, what are they doing that you can learn from? And then what are you doing better than them that you can leverage? All right, let's keep going. So that's day 5. So I'm going to call that week 1. All right. Now, the way I set this up with this 30-day strategy is I give you 5 days of action points. That's your first 5 days, 5 days of action points. And then I leave day 6 and day 7 to finish up, wrap up, enhance, work on, whatever. But that's your first week 1. And your first week 1 is basically getting your goals established and your metrics defined. All right. Let's move into week 2. Week 2, the focus of week 2 is to optimize your profiles and your brand voice on social media. Optimize your profiles and your brand voice on social media. All right. So day 6, this would be a Monday, I guess. We're back. And actually, the way I look at it, I mean, I guess I set this up to be kind of a Monday through Friday, weekends off kind of thing. But today's a Friday. So you might start this today. That's a great question, Kim Wendy. Kim Wendy asked me, how do you go about finding your competitors? It's really kind of a variety of ways. So usually I find my competitors through social. But it depends on what kind of business you are. So for me, I've learned who my competition is through my interactions with my clients. So in a lot of cases, I know who my clients interact with. I know who they're paying attention to. You know, I'm checking out what my people are sharing, what my people are watching. Sometimes I ask people straight up. I'll ask my audience or my clients, and I'll be like, who are some of the most significant influencers in your life for business information, for motivation, inspiration? I'll ask my people who they're paying attention to. And people will tell you, you can learn a lot from a very simple Facebook post. You can go on and do a Facebook post, and like Kim Wendy, you could say, you could do a Facebook post today, and you could say, who are some of my favorite horse trainers, or for all my audience that love horses and work with horses, who are some of the people in your life that have been the biggest influence to you as far as knowledge or training or whatever, and just see what they say. And you might be surprised to see what people put up there. And then once they put those things out there, go and check those people out and see what they're up to. So it takes a little bit of digging. It's not just simply a matter of just going to Google and typing in, horse trainers in Texas to see, who else is out there. Because those people, while they may be local and doing what you're doing, they may not actually be your competition. But then some of you guys that are local businesses, excuse me, y'all, I'm going to take a drink of water real quick. While some of those people might be local, some of you guys might have local businesses, your competition might be the people right in your hometown. But it takes a little bit of digging to figure out. Basically, what you're trying to figure out is, what it boils down to is your audience. You have an audience of people that are going to pay attention to you, right? You have an audience of people that are paying attention to you, the people that are on your friends list, the people that are subscribed to your channels, the people that engage with you. You need to figure out who they're paying attention to. Who else are they listening to, right? That's your primary competition, because the people that are most engaged with you and the most connected to you are your primary audience. Those are the people that are going to be most likely to buy something from you. So your competition currently is whoever else they're considering. Hopefully that makes sense, all right? So it takes a little bit of digging, and it takes a little bit of just kind of polling your audience or engaging with your audience to figure out who they're really paying attention to. Hopefully that's helpful for you, Kim. All right. So week 2 is focused on optimizing your profiles and brand voice on social media. Kim Wendy said, I'm pretty sure who some of them will list. They are big names with thousands of dollars to spend. Pretty sure who some of them will list. They are big. So, so you're going to say, and that's okay. I mean, if you say, Kim, that some of your competition or someone that your list will say are some of these big names with big programs, don't be intimidated by that. Because listen, there's certain things. This is a great conversation for all of us. Let's just park here for a second. Some of your competition, in a lot of cases, your competition may be people that you feel are way far ahead of you, or way bigger than you, or way more successful than you. Don't be afraid of that, because there's certain things that they have that are working to their advantage, but there's also certain things about being big that work as a disadvantage to them. And one of the number one things that are a disadvantage to those big people is the fact that they are their time is consumed. So what ends up happening is those big people may have bigger programs and flashy stuff with big dollar price points on them, but a lot of cases what happens is the bigger and the bigger and the bigger that they get, the personal experience gets washed out. So while someone in your audience may be considering investing in a large ticket program from one of those big people, they might find it tremendously appealing to have someone like you that's smaller, that has a very valuable program that's a lower price point than the big guy and includes a lot of personal one-on-one support. That can be tremendously tremendously attractive. And I've had clients that have had this early on in my business while I was getting started. I had people that are looking at big branding strategists and big businesses that have big all-inclusive programs, but then they would connect to me and they'd be like, you know, I was considering investing in this. And I mean, I've had people tell me that they were considering Chalene Johnson's programs and some of these other programs that they do full business development. I've had people that have invested in big ticket programs with big name people and then hired me afterwards, because while they bought that big flashy program, they realized that they weren't getting the one-on-one support that they needed. And so they came back to me and hired me after the fact, because they knew that I would be personally invested in their success and they were going to have me along with my program. So that alone is a tremendous selling point. So those guys that get a little nervous, I see your comment, Kim, I'm glad that was encouraging to you. Those guys that get nervous about, I don't know how I'm brand new to the market, how do I compete with the big names? You've got something that you can offer that they can't. Their big name actually puts handcuffs on them because they have to maintain brand standards, and they can't serve everybody because their audiences are so big. You, being small, can do whatever you want, right? You can do whatever you want. So that's important. Let's get into our week 2. So week 2, we're talking about optimizing your profiles, brand voice on social media. And again, guys, just a quick reminder, I will have an outline for you at the end of this video, which will have this entire map on it, as well as a 7-day content planner, which is going to make your life really, really easy as you plan this whole thing out, all right? So we're on day 6. Day 6 is to determine your strengths and determine your weaknesses, all right? This doesn't have to be huge, but be honest with yourself. Take a deep dive into your social strategy and determine where your strengths are and where there is room for growth. This is important. I do this often. I'm constantly thinking about, all right, what am I doing well and what am I not doing well? And then with the things that I don't feel like I'm doing well, do I need to learn something? Do I need to get help? Do I need to get training on this? Or do I just need to cut that thing away? In some cases, it goes one way. In some cases, it goes the other. In some cases, I'm like, you know what? Why am I wasting my time on this when it's just not my skill? I don't need to try to be good at something that I'm not good at, and sometimes I'll just cut that thing away. But in other cases, I'll recognize things and be like, man, this is how our social media audience is flowing. This is the direction that they're going, and I think this is going to be a necessary part of me being successful moving forward. I need to get some training here, or I need to get some support here, or I need to buy a course on this or something, and I've done that. So it's important to be constantly aware of what you're good at and what you're not good at, and then identify what you can leverage and where there's room for growth. All right, so that's day 6. Day 7 is to conduct a content audit. This is probably one of the most important days in the schedule. All right, this is important. This can be for your own content as well as for peers and competitors. But conducting a social media audit to identify best performing content in most popular channels is crucial so that you can build future content that caters to the interests of your audience, and then really be sharing stuff that your audience actually wants, and be sharing it in the most effective way. All right, so what this will do is I want you to get past just being a content sharer and becoming a strategic content creator. There's a difference. People that get in the mode of just content sharing have gotten a rhythm where content's just a check the box activity, where it's like, yeah, I know I need to share content, and I know that's how I get leads, and I know that's how I engage my audience, so I'm just going to make sure I get a post out today, or I'll make sure I get a video out today. And it becomes a check the box activity. as soon as you listen to me, if you fall into that trap of making your content a check the box activity, that's where you're going to start to see your results dive, because your audience will feel it. They will feel the lack of passion. They will feel the lack of commitment. They will feel the lack of focus. They'll feel the lack of engagement, right? So it's important for you to always be keeping a poll with your audience as to what they really, really want. So the focus of doing a content audit is to just stop for a second and go back through anything and everything that you've shared, maybe over the past few months. Look at the videos you've created, look at the posts that you made, look at your, by now you should know who your competition is in this process. So look at your competition, look at what kind of videos they're doing, what kind of posts they're doing, what kind of things they're doing. See what's working, what's not working. If your posts aren't engaging and resonating with your followers, you've got to change something. So the idea of doing this audit is to review the content you've shared, the content that your competitors have shared, the content just that is happening in your niche and in your market, and identifying which content is the type of content that people really seem to be attracted to right now. Does that make sense? All right, you got to get some eyes on and get a feel for what people really, really want. It's important. So conducting a content audit is just committing a day on day 7. Is just committing a day to really, really just opening your eyes to what type of content you really need to share, and then what type of content people are really, really engaging with. This is one of the reasons why I shifted my strategy to theming my weeks, because I was feeling as I was looking over my content over the past several weeks and months, I could see that just my daily content, where I was just sharing content here and there, every day, just different types and different themes, my engagement was dropping. So I decided, I'm like, what do I need to do to make it as simple as possible for people to know how to find the type of content that they want from me? I'm like, what type of stuff am I constantly getting asked for? I get questions all the time about technology. Justin, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? Can you show me this? Can you show me that? Do you have a video on this? I'm constantly having people asking me for technology. So I've devoted one day a week, every Tuesday, to sharing Tuesday tech tips. So Tuesday tech tips, every single Tuesday, I'm sharing technology-based content where I'm just teaching you technology stuff. And I've got audiences just super excited about that technology stuff. Wednesday, I do Wednesday in the Word. And so Wednesday is my day where I set aside my business and my marketing content. I share something that's on my heart to share with you from the Word of the Lord. And I have a large audience of mine that follows me just for that faith-based content. And that's just who I am. So I share those things on Wednesdays. Thursdays are strategy sessions. I have specific people that can only commit time like one day a week or maybe 2 days a week to watching content. And so one of the questions that I get often from my clients is, Justin, I can only commit one day a week to your content. What day would be the best day for me to join with you? And so I do those Thursday strategy sessions, which is more in-depth, advanced content for people that are really digging into a particular type of thing. And then I do these Friday workshops because I'm just in the mood to teach on Fridays. And so I don't put a time limit to these Friday workshops. It's just something that I just want to hang out with you, teach you, engage with you. And one of the other aspects of this too is I've had a lot of people tell me they really miss just live personal interactions. So these Friday workshops are going to be the one video that I do every week where I don't try to blitz through it in 20 minutes and get out of here. I'm just going to hang out with you. I'm going to let you ask questions. There's a lot of Q&A that goes on in this. We're going to unpack a topic a little deeper, and it's going to give those people that really want that personal connection to have that with me every Friday. All right, so my mission and my goal with these Friday broadcasts, this is going to be one of the most popular broadcasts I do every week, because it's just not only is it full of value, but it's fun. It's fun hanging out with the crew, and then you guys can ask me questions. I'll answer them live, and I'm available to you. It's kind of like doing an open office publicly with everybody. All right, so all of that came from me auditing my content and auditing my audience and really figuring out what does my audience really want right now. All right, so that's day 7, very important. Day 8 is to select your brand keywords. All right, select your brand keywords. Strategically selecting keywords that you want to most often associate with your branding content can make a huge impact in attracting the right audience and positioning yourself powerfully in the mind of the consumer. This is important. All right. This is important not only for the content that you share, but for how you set up your social media profiles, how you word your bio, how you explain your professional title, how you communicate your intro with every video that you do, right? You want to establish what your keywords are and what the type of things are that you're going to say all the time. You'll hear me say brand strategy, social media marketing strategy all the time. My name is Justin Kaplan Pro. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your ideas into a profitable and scalable brand, leveraging the power of social media marketing. I say that every single day with every single video that I do. I repeat those statements throughout my videos. I include them in my descriptions. They're on my bios. They're in my website. Those keywords are keywords that I use all the time. And that helps with SEO and being found through search traffic, but it's also more powerfully subliminal. All right? And the point of those brand keywords, is to position yourself in the mindset of the consumer. This is about mental real estate. It's about capturing a piece of that mental real estate. What does that mean? That means I want to implant myself in your mind as the go-to person for branding strategy, as the go-to person for social media marketing strategy, as the go-to person for mobile website and mobile app design, as the go-to person for personal development for business owners. I want to position myself there. So when you're sitting and having dinner with your husband and you're talking about the new business that you're starting and you're like, I think we need to really get some help with our branding. Bing, light bulb comes on. I think we should talk to Justin Kaplan about that. I think Justin can help with that. Or I think I really need to get a website built or my website refreshed. I need to talk to Justin Kaplan about that. That's me being positioned in your mind as the go-to person for that specific thing. Does that make sense? Put a yes in the chat stream if that makes sense. All right, so establishing your brand keywords is about figuring out what keywords do you want people to think of or to hear or to see or to say. And when they hear or see or say those keywords, they think of you. That's what brand keywords are, and that's important. That's day 8. Day 9 is establish your establish your brand standards. Day 9. This is where you need to establish the foundation for your recognizable standard. Like, who do you want to be known as? What do you want to be known for? How do you want people to think about you? What do you want people to feel when they experience you? Establishing your brand standards is really just kind of deciding for yourself, what are the standards going to be for my business? What are the standards going to be for my brand? What are the core elements that I really want to be known for? And establishing that right up front, that this is how I'm going to be. I want to be known as someone who is inspiring, someone who is motivating, someone who provides step-by-step guidance, somebody who breaks down tough subjects into very simple terms and makes them digestible. Somebody who gives clear and specific guidance and instruction, right? I want to be known for that. I also want to be known as someone who is excellent all the time, that demonstrates sincerity in their content and with the things that they do. Like, these are all things that I want to do. And I think if hopefully those guys that know me well, if I asked you to define what Justin Kaplan Pro means to you, hopefully those would be things that you would say. And I would hope you would say things like, he cares, he's genuine, he's sincere, he's consistent, he's inspiring, he's motivating, the training that he provides is so helpful. Like, the things, and hopefully those would be things that you would say about me. And those things that I hope that you would say about me are things that I have intentionally made my standards of my brand. So when I get those implanted in my mind, I'm like, this is what I want to be known for. This is how I want to be viewed as. This is the impact that I want to make in my audience every single day where I show up. That's intentional. That was a commitment. That was a decision early on in my brand. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to be known for. This is who I choose to make my brand about. And then it has to become a commitment. Once you decide upon it, then it needs to become a commitment day in, day out, without fail. Thank you, Camille. I appreciate that, buddy. All right, so establishing your brand standards, that's number 9. Day 10, the last day of week 2, is to optimize your social profiles. All right, optimize your social profiles. So while much of your time is spent on creating content and scheduling posts and information, including in your social, doing all the things that your social media involves, one of the important things is getting those social profiles set up, because it's vital to the success of your social media marketing. When you've determined your brand standards, then you can now build out your profile to align with those standards. When you've established your brand keywords, you can interject those keywords into the things that you're positioning on your profile. So at a quick glance, just an FYI, at a quick glance, your profile should speak to your brand with relevant visuals and engaging copy. A couple quick things that should stand out. You should have an impactful and consistent profile picture. So you have more than one social profile. You should have, multiple social profiles. Thank you, Maggie. I see your comment as well. I appreciate you. Impactful and consistent profile picture. So a good quality profile picture that's consistent on multiple channels. You want to complete every section of your profile, and that's different on every social network. But you want to make sure you have the bio area filled out, the contact area filled out. You have your website links where they're applicable. Some websites let you put a full-fledged long bio on there. Get that bio in there. Whatever those elements are between a Facebook personal page, a Facebook business page, Twitter account, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, all the YouTube, you can have a bio as well as an intro video. I mean, all these different things. You want to make sure whatever social platform, especially the social platforms that you're going to make your primary place to engage, you want to make sure that you get all the details on there and complete every section, so it's a good all-inclusive picture of who you are that clearly communicates your brand keywords and exemplifies your brand standards. All right, that's important. You want to make sure you use those keywords. You also want to make sure that you put links where applicable. So there's different social platforms allow you to put links in different places. So make sure that those are important. The main thing to understand about optimizing your social profiles, which is day 10, is that this is where first impressions are experienced. And this is also where perceptions are created. I'm going to say that again. Your social profiles, your profile picture, your cover photo, your bio, your intro video, if possible, your links, your descriptions, your keywords, all those things are where first impressions are experienced and where perceptions are created. Perceptions are powerful. Write this down if you're taking notes. People will interact with you based upon their perception of you. People will interact with you based upon their perception of you. All right, so what does that mean? If people view you as a first-class professional with valuable information and clear and concise brand standards, they'll engage with you like one and they'll pay you like one. If people view you as an amateur who's still trying to figure it all out, doesn't really have it all together, and has inconsistent messaging, they will engage with you or not engage with you based upon that perception, right? And when's the last time you invested in anybody that had inconsistent messaging or unclear standards, or you didn't really feel like they were a true professional? I've never invested in anybody that I didn't feel like they weren't the best in their industry or the best, most valuable option for me at the time. Do you guys agree with that? Like, put I agree in the chat stream. I mean, it's just for real, right? This is why this is so important. Because you're like, people are like, Justin, can you talk to me about mapping social media? Can you talk to me about how to create a great social media strategy? Absolutely. Let's start by talking about your profiles. And I've spent, this is a good block of time on this week too, optimizing your social profiles and really establishing your brand standards. And people are like, well, when are we going to get to talking about content? If you don't put focus on this up front, like, that's 2 weeks right there, 2 full weeks that has zero to do with sharing anything, right? This is about establishing your base. It's about establishing your foundation for who you really are going to be, and making sure that when you do get to share content and you do start creating videos and you do start putting yourself out there and you start creating those impressions, that when people come back to you to check out who you really are and what you're doing, that the view aligns with the narrative, and that they're only drawn in more like, yeah, this person is a first class. Follow, subscribe, check out your videos, join your community, go to your website, going back to whatever your initial goals were, whether you want to drive website traffic, get more downloads, get people in your community, whatever it is you're trying to do. You're going to create some impressions through your content, but once people have a great first impression, the next step they're going to take is they're going to investigate you. They're going to go to your social profiles. They're going to go to your website. They're going to Google you. And so the more that you get all this stuff aligned, the more it's going to work to your advantage in the long run, all right? That's week 2. It's 5 days on focusing on optimizing your social profiles and getting your brand standards aligned, all right? Let's go to week 3. Week 3 is to find and listen to your audience. Find and listen to your audience, all right? Day 11. Day 11 is to define your ideal customer. Now I'm going to break this down and make this as simple as possible because this gets so overcomplicated, right? We're not talking about target avatar. We're not going to create an avatar profile, right? Don't overthink it. It's just simply, who do you best serve? Who do you best serve? Who is your target customer? Like, who do you want to work with? What type of person can you make the greatest impact with? Who are you passionate about helping? Like, if you could do that, imagine this way. Imagine you and I are having a one-on-one conversation, and I say to you, Camille, girl, listen. I have figured out a way to go out and get you 10 clients right now that will come right to you and they'll pay you whatever your premium fee is. No strings attached. All I need you to do is to tell me who you want me to go get. You clearly tell me who you want me to go get. I'm going to go get 10 people that match the description that you give me, and I'm going to bring them to you, and they're going to pay your premium fee, and they're going to hire you. For all of you, imagine that could happen. If you had that opportunity, how would you describe that person? Now, I had this conversation with one of my clients one time. I asked him that very question. I said, I need you to define who you want to work with. And I said, so you tell me who you want me to go get, and I'm going to go get 10 clients that match that description, and I'm going to bring you 10 paying clients right now. Tell me who you want. And that person to me says, I want to work with people who've lost hope. Now, this particular person really focuses on health and wellness. That's really their focus. And so I knew what she meant. But she said, I want to help people who've lost hope. I said, okay. I said, well, I can go get you a 55-year-old man who just lost his job. I can go get you a mom who has been trying to get pregnant, or I can go get you a woman that's been trying to get pregnant and just found out that she's never going to be able to have children. I can get you someone who's, I could find all kinds of people who have lost hope. And is that who you want? No, that's not who I want, Justin. I'm like, I know that's not who you want. You need to describe to me who you want to work with. If you had the option of a very specific person that is your ideal client, who is that? For me, if you say, Justin, who you want to work with, I say, I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and want to build a business from it. That's it. That's my target audience. I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serve a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what area of the world or country you live in. I don't care if you're married, if you're single. I don't care if you got kids, don't have kids. None of that matters to me. If you are a goal-driven individual, meaning that you are goal-driven, meaning that you are ready to do the work. If you're a goal-driven individual, you have a very specific gifting, idea, or area of expertise that serves a very specific type of clientele, and you want to build a business from it, I can help you. Not only can help you, but I can help you well, because you are my ideal client. You are who I best serve. You are who I want to work with. You are the person that I know I can make the greatest impact with, and you are who I am passionate about serving. Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat room if that makes sense. I just realized I got my mic way out here. Hopefully you guys are going to hear me okay. All right? But hopefully that makes sense. So day 11 is to define your ideal customer. Day 12 is outline what you need to know about them. All right, what do you need to know about them? What information will help you become incredibly effective with your audience? What questions can you ask them? What will make them want to engage with you? All right, what do you need to know about that audience to make you highly engaging with that audience? So if you had one of those particular clients, if I have someone come to me that is a goal-driven individual that has a very specific gifting, that serves a very specific type of clientele, and wants to build a business from it, what do I need to know about them to serve them effectively? Make a list of questions that if you were able to go and have a sit-down meeting with your ideal client right now, what questions would you ask them? What are the main things you need to know to serve them well? Outline that, because if you can outline those questions become tremendously powerful, because you can use them in conversations. You can use them as social media posts. You can use them as questionnaires on your website. You can use them as getting started. So sorry about the sound, guys. Had my mic way out of the way. So sorry about that. But you can, if you can identify those main things that you need to know and get those things outlined, then you can leverage those questions in a variety of different ways. That's important. Day 13 is to research your industry. All right, we're talking about week 3, finding and listening to your audience. All right, so day 13 is research your industry. What key information do you need to know about your field of play? What statistics do you need to be aware of? What are the trends in your industry? What will pose challenges for you? What kind of things are happening? What's going to work in your favor? What can you leverage? Right? What can you leverage right now? All those things are important things that you need to understand. And again, guys, the way this is kind of mapped out is we're looking at just this overall game plan. Every week is 5 days, and these are specific things. If you can commit to each day, these are specific things that you need to do. All right, so day 13 is research your industry. Day 14 is to research your platform or platforms. All right, what platform or platforms do you want to be on? What are the rules of engagement on your platform? What can you leverage? What are the best engagement tactics? What do you need to know? What are the trends in that social media network? What's going up? What's going down? Like right now, there's so much going on with social media. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are really dropping significantly engagement. And that's being affected by all the negativity of the elections and COVID and, who's right, who's wrong, all those different things. But while some of the social medias are dropping right now, YouTube is growing tremendously, and every single podcast platform is also growing tremendously. And personally, I think the reason for that is I think while people are sick of social media right now, I think people still want great content. So people are pulling away from places like Instagram and Facebook, but they're still going to YouTube for video content. They're still going to podcasts for audio content. People are still looking for great content. They just want the content without all the drama. All right. So it's important for you to establish what platforms you want to be on and research those platforms and make sure that you understand how you can be the most effective in that particular area. All right. Day 15, the last day of week 3, is to choose your content types. All right, choose the content types. For best results, diversify your content to keep your audience interested. I think more than ever right now, social media audiences are, I don't know. I don't even know if I would say they're harder to engage, but I think the attention spans are getting shorter, and it may not even be the attention spans. I don't even really know how to describe it, but it's like it's taking more than ever. I've been doing this for a long time. More than ever right now, I feel like it really is taking a really great mix of diversified content to engage. Y'all agree with that? Those guys are content creators. A singular strategy doesn't work right now. It's like people are, it's like if you're a one-trick pony, they get bored with you. One of the things that I'm really realizing, and I'm seeing it, real time as I do it myself and as my clients are doing it as well, is the people that are getting the most and best engagement have got a spectacular blend of valuable information and personal, I don't know what you even call it, just personal approach with valuable information. So it's like, people don't just want to see your video, your business posts. People want to see your business posts combined with, you know, a day in the life of you. Show me your family. I mean, so, and then you combine that with things that are motivational and inspirational. So a good diversified mix would be video, valuable content, a post about you and your spouse going out to dinner, a great intriguing question that stirs up engagement, a motivational or inspiring graphic, back to another video that's great value, back to another personal post about a day in the life of you, back to another great question, back to another motivational thing. Now I'm going to share a free resource, back to another video, right? Diversified content, a really nice mix. One of the things that I'm trying, it's just not easy for me. One of the things I'm really trying to do with my content right now is, I would say probably for the longest time, you know, I would say like pre-2020, pre-COVID, you know, all the things. I would say probably my social was probably 80% JC Pro content, 20% everything else. And I'm really trying to get into this mix now where my JC Pro content is about 30% of what you see of me. And then the other 60 to 70% is personal, motivating, inspiring, you know, and then a little more business, then back to personal, you know, because people are really engaging with that. They're really, really, really engaging with that. Right now, the personal stuff, the engaging stuff, the inspiring stuff is getting more traction than anything else. And I think it's just, I think people just really want to see some good in the world. Y'all agree with that? I think that's what it's about. I think people are just so sick of the negative. I think they're so sick of the garbage. I think people are just really looking for some good. I think people are just really, really looking for things that make them feel good. Yeah, they do. They love life. They love the life stuff. Just a day in the life. Yeah, so it's important. So on this day 15, the last day of week 3, choosing your content types for best results, you're really going to want to figure out how you can create a diversified strategy for your content to keep your audience interested and really get them going. Tamia, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in, and great morning to you. All right, that's week 4. Week 5, let's dive, keep going, y'all. All right, week 5, again, we're talking about a 30-day content plan. I'm mapping out 30 days of what you need to do. Yeah, that's a great point, Kim. Kim says, I think personal connection gets more because of the lockdown. They want that connection. I agree. I think people are just really craving that. I think people are really missing the personal connections. And the COVID and all the things have happened that have divided. You know, it's not just COVID, it's the elections, it's all the things that have just created division. I think people, natural human behavior, are craving that. I think they're just craving that personal. It's nice to see you, Tamil. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I think people are just really craving that. All right, so that's important. Let's go to week 4. Let's talk about content now. All right, content strategy a little bit. So week 4, and we've got through all of these foundational things that are so important. All right, so now we get into week 4. Day 16 is define a 7-day posting schedule. All right, once you've got that plan mapped out for how you're going to diversify your schedule. Now I want you to define a posting schedule. And again, I'm going to hook you guys up with some freemiums at the end of this video. I'm going to tell you how to get these. So I got this 30-day map, which is my map for how everything that I'm talking about today. And then I got a 7-day content planner that I've created for you. So this outlines 7 days and gives you a nice outline for how you can map out the type of content that you want to share and where you want to share it every single day. So this will tell you basically Monday through Sunday, the platform, the content type, and then the theme or the title, so you can really just map this whole thing out. Highly effective, great way to do it. Also, at the end of this video, guys, I'm actually going to give you my notes for this training, so you have all the details about what I'm talking about to align with whatever notes you're taking for yourself, all right? So, day 16, this is where you're going to sit down and you're going to map out a 7-day schedule, all right? and just figure out what you want your posting schedule to be. Doesn't mean that you actually have to figure out what your content's going to be just yet. Day 16 is just figuring out your posting schedule. Monday, I'm going to do a video on YouTube and a question post on Facebook. Tuesday, I'm going to do personal interactive and 2 different stories and 2 different platforms. Wednesday, I'm going to do another video, another post, and another story. Thursday, I'm going to do an email with a blah, 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 right? You just figure out how you're going to lay those days out, and you figure out how you're going to engage your audience however many of the days of the week you want to. Doesn't mean that you have to do 7 days a week, but I would consider doing 7 days a week. Now, I don't show up with video content 7 days a week, but I do post even on the weekends. My weekend posts are much more personal usually, and kind of give a glimpse behind the scenes of what goes on in the life of the Kappan household. But that's all intentional. That's all intentional. That's all just to connect people to me. All right. Another thing that's very important is just reminder, just for like Facebook alone, if you can stir up a lot of engagement with personal stuff over the weekend, all those people that engage on your personal posts are going to be more apt to see your business content coming out at the start of the week. So if you got a brand new video coming out Monday morning that's going to be hot, and you know people are really going to want to see that thing, and that's going to be a great video for your brand, then do some sort of really highly engaging personal content over the weekend and stir that dialogue up. So that all those interactions and all those engagements over the weekend, anybody who interacts with you on that content is going to be highly likely to see your video on Monday, because Facebook will show you more of what you engage with, right? So that's how you impact your algorithm. It's kind of a bait post. So if you get people engaging with you over the weekend, then when you go live on Monday, all those people that engage with you over the weekend are going to see your live video Monday. So creating a 7-day posting schedule is important. Day 17, the second day of week 4, is brainstorm content ideas. All right. Content ideas are basically figuring out how you want your content to flow. So what are your core themes going to be? What are the pain points that your audience has that you really want to target? What are your triggers that you want to inspire in people? One of the things that's really effective with content is establishing, once you know who your audience is and you define their most significant pain points, then you can design triggers to offset their pain points. So for example, right? If I look at my target audience is goal-driven individuals, don't miss this, y'all. This is so good. All right, just focus on this for a second. Right? My audience is goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. That's my core audience. That's who my target audience is. All right. Now, if I think about those individuals and I ask myself, what are their pain points? Their pain points are things like frustration, where maybe they're trying to get their business started and they don't know where to go or what to do. Or maybe they've been trying to do things and they're not working. Overwhelm. They feel like there's so much to do, they don't know where to start. They're confused. They just don't know what to do. It can be overwhelm, frustration. It can be fear. It can be lack of clarity, insecurity, doubt. Will this ever work for me? I don't even know if this is possible for me. Failure falls in there. People that have tried something and failed, and now they don't know what to do from there. All those things are pain points that I know my audience struggles with. So where I go from there is I establish, what are my triggers? So what I want to figure out is I want to design and intentionally establish what my positive emotional triggers are going to be that are going to offset their pain points. So you guys will recognize this once I say them, because you've experienced me and you've been with me for a while, is that my emotional triggers are clarity, confidence. What's my third one? Clarity and confidence are huge. I'll think of the third one in a second. Clarity and confidence are my main ones. So I say all the time that one of my missions, one of my brand standards, is to take very tough subjects and break them down into very simple terms, right? So the reason why I do that is because I want to provide clarity. Clarity offsets overwhelm. Clarity offsets frustration. Clarity can offset insecurity, doubt, fear. because a lot of the reasons why people struggle with overwhelm and insecurity and fear and doubt and all those things is because they're just not sure what to do. So if I can give you clarity, if I can inspire clarity in you, and you're like, aha, I know what to do. Some of you guys today may have been feeling completely overwhelmed at the idea that November is next month and that you should probably be doing something for Black Friday. But whenever you think about Black Friday, you're completely overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I'm frustrated. I've tried Black Friday, it didn't work before. All those feelings, but then all of a sudden Justin gives you all this and it gives you clarity. And you're like, I could do this, because what happens? Clarity brings confidence. So giving you if I can inspire clarity in you, and if I can get you confident, guess what happens when you get clarity and confidence? When that's been lacking, what happens? It makes you want to move, right? Like if you've been lacking confidence and lacking clarity, you stay stuck. And you're frustrated and you stay there, and you in some cases people just put it all to the side. I don't even want to think about it. Some people just keep looking at it over and over and over, but they don't know what to do. But as soon as I can give you clarity and I can give you confidence, what happens? Action happens. Wow, I know what to do now. I know how to do it. I know where to start. Thank you, Justin, for that clarity. And you move forward. Well, what ends up happening in a lot of cases is if I'm the one that provided the clarity and the confidence, usually the step forward is a step forward towards me, where they go to my website to download some of my guides. They come back to more videos because Justin did that to me and he helped me. I want to see more of his content, right? I've created an impression in you that leads to more and more and more impressions. That's one of the number one ways that I attract paying clients. That's a secret. It's one of the number one ways how I'm able to attract paying clients over and over and over and over, is because I create content with the intention and the design of establishing those emotional triggers, clarity and confidence, which often offsets the pain points that my viewers are dealing with. And when you get clarity and confidence, you want to move forward, and so you take a step forward to whatever your next step is. So that's important, is establishing what those triggers are going to be. So that's brainstorming content ideas. You need to establish, what are your core themes, what is your audience's pain points, and what are the triggers that you want to establish that are going to be your positive triggers to offset their negative emotions. Day 18, third day of week 4, is to create your core content. Once you've got the concept and the strategy, you want to outline your core content. What is your core content going to be? And then you do that on a week by week basis using my 7-day content planner. That maps that whole thing out. That's that day 18. Great. Day 19 is to create your bait content. So the difference between core content and bait content, core content for me is my video content. This video content today is my core content. This is the core of the value. This is the stuff that's going to drive conversions to my website. So that's your core content. You want to figure out what your core content is going to be and what days and what times a day you're going to share that core content. Day 19 is you want to figure out what your bait content is going to be. Bait content is the content that's the little questions, the little posts, the little things that you're going to share prior to your core content that's going to lead people to that. Like I talked about, where if you're going to have a awesome core content video that's going to come out on Monday, then you want to do some bait content on Saturday and Sunday to bait engagement, to get people talking to you. And it doesn't have to be business related. It can be personal. Whatever that is, you want to ask yourself, what kind of stuff can I post to get people interacting with me so I can get them in my core content, which is going to lead to those conversions. Does that make sense? I know I'm covering so much in this morning, y'all, but are you with me? Put yes in the chat room if you're with me. And then again, guys, certainly, guys, if you have questions, I love questions. Be sure to drop questions in there if you have anything for me, because I'm happy to answer those questions for you. All right. Core content, bait content. The last thing, day 20, last day of week 4, is to create your visuals. All right. So visuals are things that just reminders of your upcoming content, of your schedule, of your promotions, whatever you're going to do. You want to have a nice mix of visual content in your brand content, because visuals are important. Statistically, guys, visual content, meaning pictures and videos, get an average of 400 to 450% more engagement than text content alone. People like visuals. So you want to make sure you have a nice visual plan for the type of graphics that you're going to create, even if it's just a matter of just simply creating a nice little template that's just nice visuals you can put quotes on, or motivational graphics or stuff like that. You want to have a nice place where you can have some visuals. And again, multi-purposing and having a diversified content type. Having visuals means you can take some of your information and you can share visuals on Instagram or Twitter, or you can put stuff in your stories. All those kinds of things are things that just give people visual stimulation to be thinking of you. That's all it is. Visuals are just stimulating them to be thinking of you. Again, mental real estate, positioning your mind, or positioning your brand in their mind. Visuals do that powerfully, all right? So day 20 is establishing what your visual is going to be. So once I get to this point in week 4, where you've established your first, second, and third week is all about establishing your core of who you are. Now we get into this week 4. This is really about narrowing down now. Now I'm working on a 7-day content plan. So this 7-day content plan, this entire week on week 4, I'm focusing on figuring this whole thing out. What is my plan for the upcoming week? What am I going to do to really operate my plan every week? And then once you get that, then every week you'll renew this every single week and use that to map your content out every single week. All right. So that's week 4, is creating your content calendar. Or I'm sorry, creating your content schedule. All right. Week 5 is diving into the specific steps that are going to engage your audience. All right. So this is really about mapping out your hook, if you want to call it that. So this is week 5. So day 21 is to create a call to action. You want to establish, once you've got a content calendar mapped out, you need to figure out what your call to action is going to be. So again, not all content that you share on social media needs to encourage customers to take action, but most of it should. Some of it can just be encouraging, some of it can just be personal. All right, but whatever content you're gonna really be focusing in on your brand and your business, you want to make sure that you have a call to action there. All right, so call to action is simply explain what the next steps are. Should a prospect click on something? Should they download something? Should they do it now? Or are they going to do it later? Do you want them to share something? Do you want them to go somewhere? Do you want them to subscribe to your list or join your Facebook community? All right, what do you want them to do? That's a call to action. It doesn't have to be always leading them to a sales page or trying to sell them something. Sometimes it's just simply, hey guys, go download this thing. My call to action for you today at the end of this video is going to be to go to my website and download all of these guides. I'm going to give you all of the information so that you have all these tools along with this video to really put together a great social strategy. That's my call to action for you today. All right, I'm not selling you anything today. I'm trying to help you today. I want to see all of you really thrive through the through the selling season in November. So I'm giving you all the tools that you need to do that. That's it. Now, yeah, I'd love for you to get on my website. I'd love for you to subscribe to my list. I'd love for you to be coming back to my live videos every day. My mission today is to help you. So my call to action is for that. So you want to figure out, based upon the content calendar that you map out, when you map out an upcoming week, a 7-day plan for this is going to be my focus for that week. What do you want the call to action to be? And what are you going to drive people to do? What are your goals going to be? Going back to day 1, what are your goals going to be? And what metrics are you trying to drive traffic to really grow your brand and grow your business? All right. Day 22, second day of week 5, is to create a first step. All right. What is a great first step that someone can take with you if they are not quite ready to invest in you yet, but they might be ready to commit to moving forward in some capacity? This is where you want to have like a getting started option or a questionnaire. Maybe it's a free discovery call. Maybe it's a download, but this is a little different than your calls to action. Your calls to action will kind of usually change with your content strategy. Creating a first step is basically just having a starting point. So whoever your whoever your target audience is, and whatever your specialty is, whatever it is that your primary thing is that you're selling, what's just a good first easy step for them that they can take? So for example, For me, again, my audience is goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. So I have people that I know are trying to figure some things out. So for those people that are trying to figure out how Justin might be able to help them, if they've never hired a branding strategist before, or if they've never hired a business coach before, people are like, I'm not really sure what that looks like. So if you go to my website, justincapandpro.com/my process, I'll actually put this in the chat stream for you. So justincapandpro.com/my process. What that does is if you go to my process, basically what happens is it's gonna give you an idea of what my process is. It's gonna tell you how I operate. I've got some free downloads there. I have a couple of guides that are a great first step right there, but then I also have a questionnaire that you can click on to register for a free coaching call with me. And it's a strategy call. I'll spend an hour with you just breaking down your strategy. But to do that, you have to click that and you have to answer a series of questions on a questionnaire. You submit that. That gives me all the information I need to know about where you're at, what you're trying to do. You submit that form, and when I get that form, I'll reach out to you and we'll plan a time to chat on the phone. No strings attached. I don't charge anything for that up front. So for me, if you're trying to figure out whether you should hire a business coach, whether I'm the business coach for you, or whether you should hire someone to help you with your branding, go to justincapandpro.com/my process. You can learn all about my process, how I work. You can get some free guides and some downloads to get you started. You can fill out my questionnaire and schedule a free call with me. That's a lot, but that's a great first step. So it's in this day 22 is for you to think about, what do you want that great first step to be for someone who might not be quite ready to hire you yet, but they would like to move forward in some capacity? Can you give them a step to move forward? All right, that's day 22. That's create a first step. Ask me questions if you got them. All right, day 23 is to create a freemium. You're going to have some people that aren't ready to hire you, but they are really intrigued by your information and they want to get more of it. It's important for you to come up with some freemiums that people can get. And this is the thing I want you to get to about content in general and about freemiums in general, is a freemium is not just an ebook. A lot of people get confused with freemiums. They think, well, if I'm going to have a freemium, I need to have like a free ebook, or I need to have a course, or not necessarily. A freemium is not a thing. If you're taking notes, write this down. A freemium is not a thing. A freemium is a strategy. A freemium is basically you are sharing something for free and getting something in return from it. So a freemium, in most cases, like I have several freemiums on my website. If you go to justincapandpro.com/free resources, I have all kinds of free stuff on my website that you can download. But every one of those, if you go to download something, you give me your email address. So I have your contact information and I just connect with you. Now, my mission, what I look for in return, I'm not looking for an email address, and I'm not trying to build my email list in return. What I'm doing is connecting. I'm looking for a connection in return. So if you're looking to download stuff from me, I'm looking to connect to you. That's it. I just want to get to know you. I want to know what you're up to. I want to find out how I can help you. I want to figure out what type of business you're trying to build, and who you're trying to serve, and what you're trying to impact, or what you're trying to sell. And so I learn from you. I figure out what you're up to, figure out what you're trying to do, and then I just pour into you. And one of the things that I tell my audience all the time is I am not a salesman. I do not sell stuff for a living. I serve people for a living. I do not chase people. So what I do is I make new connections. My freemiums are a great way for me to make new connections. And then I just serve those connections to a point where they take steps towards me. And then eventually people are like, Justin, how can I work with you? I tell you how I can work with you. You decide whether you want to do it or not. And then if you hire me, awesome. That's how I do it. One of the things that I do when I connect to my new clients is I do not bring up my pricing or my services unless you ask me to. I never have, and I never will. I don't push my pricing on anybody. I don't push my offers on anybody. I just basically serve people, because this is what I believe. Y'all write this down if you're taking notes. If you serve effectively, the sale will happen naturally. And so my mission through my freemiums is to make new connections and to find people that I can serve and help. And then once I serve them and help them and engage with them, eventually they move towards me and they ask me eventually, how can I work with you? I give them some options and they hire me for whatever they hire me for. So having freemiums in place is a great, powerful way to do that. All right. So that's day 23. Day 24 is to implement your action steps. All right. So once you have your call to action in play, you have your first step established, and you have freemiums established, then you want to implement how you want to leverage those things, where you want to leverage those things. When are you going to make your call to actions available? When do you want to, or where do you want to make that first step available? How and where do you want to show off or highlight your freemiums? You want to implement the actions that are going to lead people to those three things. If you can get a great call to action process with a first step and at least one great freemium, that alone is enough to attract a lot of paying clients. It's just about this process. It's just about having the tools in place, all right? So that's day 24. Day 25, the last day of week 5, is to engage your audience, all right? There's a digital marketing expert by the name of Jay Baer that says, a lack of response is a response. It's a response that says, we don't care about you very much. I'm going to say that again. Jay Baer says, a lack of response is a response. It's a response that says, we don't care about you very much. It is important to engage with and respond to your audience as much as possible. Engaging with your audience in two-way dialogue is what builds trust and adds authenticity to your brand, all right? So as you monitor your audience's reactions to your content, you can also gain valuable insight into the effectiveness of your content. And this is where it becomes tremendously important for you to be working at, how do I create that two-way flow? It's a relationship. Like, how many of y'all are married? If those guys that are married, if you're the only one talking, there's a problem. If you're the only one that's ever communicating, that's a dysfunctional relationship, and it's probably not going to last very long. There's got to be two-way dialogue. You've got to get those relationships to the point where they're talking back to you and they're interacting with you. You take a step towards them, they take a step towards you. Then you take another step towards them, they take another step towards you. You've got to establish that two-way interaction. That's where that trust comes from, and that's where that authenticity comes from. That's where people really start to engage with you and see that, you know what, I think you might be someone that could really help me, all right? So that's your week 5. Last week, week 6, real fast. I know we've been going for an hour and a half, y'all, but is this good for you? Are you enjoying this? Give me a yes in the chat stream if you were enjoying this. Hopefully this is valuable to you and giving you some ideas on the specific things that you really need to be working on, all right? Week 6. Day 26 is to create a database. This doesn't have to be fancy. You know what I'm going to do? I have a database that I've created for my clients. I'm going to throw this database into the files that I'm going to give you for all of this content mapping. That way you can get this and you can use it if you want to use it. So I have a tracking database that I've created where I track all my leads, and I keep track of all the things that I'm doing. Thank you, Tamila. I see you, buddy. Girl, it's a part of the process. It's a lot of work. Don't let it overwhelm you, though. That's why I try to break this down in day by day by day by day, so that you can just kind of work through. This is what I need to focus on today, and hopefully keep you on track to make your moves. But I'm proud of you for hanging out for the video, all right? So creating a database, I'm going to add this. I have an Excel sheet that I'm going to throw in here as well. I'm just going to hook you guys up with all the things. Can I do that? I'm just going to hook you guys up with all the goodies. So day 26, the first day of week 6, is to create a database, and basically your database is just to keep track of the people that you're connecting to. Some people do these in written form. I've got a couple of clients of mine that have like books, like ledgers almost, where they just keep track of the connections that they're making, you know. And I don't keep track of every single interaction I ever have on social media. What I do is I keep track of people that I've really connected to. All right, people that have gone to my website and downloaded something, people that are showing up in my live videos over and over and over, people that, you know, new people that I might see and might be like, yeah, you know what, I've been seeing this one particular person over and over and over, and they're really engaging. I may throw them on my database, and really that's just to keep track of them. It's just to remind myself that this is someone that I really want to build a relationship with. It's like a relationship ledger. That's really what it is. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's not a sales ledger. It's not a marketing spam ledger. It's just a place where I just want to keep track of the connections that I'm making. And because that's one of my key metrics. One of my key metrics for me to measure the success, excuse me, of what I'm doing on social media. I don't measure my success in likes and views and comments and shares. Those are vanity metrics. What I measure my success with is how many relationships I'm making, new connections, and I do that through my lead tracking database. I keep track of how many new leads I'm making, how many new connections I'm making. So if you were to ask me, Justin, how was the month of September for you? Was it a good month? Are you growing this year over last year? I'm not going to Facebook and YouTube to look at my views, shares, and engagements. I'm going to my lead tracking database and be like, yep, absolutely. September was amazing. I acquired 27 new connections, which I did in September. These are 27 new people that I don't know. They don't know me. Of those 27, 20 of them were on my website downloading freemiums. The other 7 were people that just been really engaging my live videos. I've had discovery calls with 13 of them. And I think of the 13, I got 8 new clients from those. That's my September, roughly. Right? So, and I can look at those statistics in September this year over September last year. September last year, I didn't have as many. And I didn't have that quite of those good results. So despite all these things, that database, I can look at all the things going on in 2020. I can see that September 2020 was a good month for me because I'm looking at the right stuff. Does that make sense? I see you, Nigel. Good morning to you, buddy. All right. It's important. So having a database is an important element. It's a book of business, y'all. Every brick and mortar business owner that has clients and shoppers has a book of business. They know who their shoppers are. Even when you're an online business, you have to have some sort of book of business to be keeping track of your most valuable and loyal followers and clients, because those are the people that will continue to buy from you if you continue to serve them. All right. So that's day 26. Day 1 of week 6 is create a database. Day 27 is to challenge yourself to intentionally connect. This goes beyond your just basic social media interactions. Intentionally connect and reach out to people. I do this once a week. I have a 1 day a week that I intentionally reach out to people. I intentionally reach out to people that have connected to my website, that have downloaded forms. I intentionally reach out to people that maybe I haven't heard from in a while. Because I have a whole list of people, I'll go through and look at recent connections, and I'll find people that I haven't seen in a couple months, and I'll shoot them a message. Hey, so-and-so. Just checking in on you. Haven't seen you around in a while. Hopefully you're doing well. Just want to let you know you're on my mind and thoughts, and I was praying for you this morning. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day, and I'd love to hear from you. I just shoot messages to people, just letting them know that I care. I think that goes such a long way. Do y'all agree with that? Just that personal interaction, that personal feeling, and what ends up happening is it's like clockwork. Every time I send one of those messages to someone that I have not seen in a while, it's like clockwork. When I send that message, if I send the message on a Tuesday and I haven't seen that person in 2 months, it's like clockwork. On Wednesday, they show up in my live video. Hey, Justin, so appreciated a message. I've been out for a while, but I'm glad to be back. And then it re-engages them. All right, so intentionally connecting, you've got to plan time to do that, because if you just kind of wait for when it strikes you, guess what's going to happen? You won't. You'll miss it, right? So intentionally connecting is important. Day 28, I got 3 left for you. Day 28 is compare your results to your goals. So day 1 of this was to establish goals and establish what you really want to accomplish. So once you get to day 28, you've done a lot, right? You've done a lot of stuff. This is where you want to start comparing the results that you're getting to the goals that you had, and figuring out what's working, what's not working, which goes to day 29. Day 29 is to sharpen your skills. Once you're comparing your results and goals, this is where you want to figure out, all right, what am I doing well? What am I not doing well? What do I need to narrow in on and hone in on? And then what things do I feel like maybe this needs to be set aside for a minute? What do I feel like I can leverage? Where do I feel like I can be better? All right, sharpening your skills is important. So day 29 is taking time, and I rotate this process. I encourage you to rotate this process every week. Once you get these plans in play, you can really operate then and rotate this every single week, and really just check yourself every week or every month as you go through it. All right, so sharpen your skills is day 29. and day 30 is pivot. I kind of challenge myself to do this on the last day of the month, every single month. I kind of do these same things. Day 28, day 29, day 30 is I look at, all right, I compare my results to my goals for the previous month, the previous 30 days. I look at what areas do I need to sharpen, what areas do I need to adjust, and then that last piece is what do I need to pivot? Is there anything I need to do differently? Is there anything I need to do better? Is there a shift that needs to happen right now? And I've been shifting a good bit over the past couple months, right? Those guys that are with me, my clients, you've been seeing I've been trying stuff. I've been doing things. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the social audience, trying to figure out how I can get the most results from my audience. What do my people really want to see? And so I've been pivoting and I've been adjusting to really figure out what the groove is going to be this year, right? That's important. So being a social media marketer, guys, change is inevitable. And not only is it inevitable, but it's absolutely necessary. You're never going to get yourself to a point where you can just be like, there, I've got it. I can just flow like this for a while. There's always going to be a need to shift and adjust because that's human nature. Our social audiences that we engage with, they're always changing. They're always adjusting. We have to meet them where they are and we have to adjust with them, all right? So that's your 30-day map, guys. Hopefully that was a good one for you. Guys, for you to check out my or get all these free meals, what I want you to do is I want you to go to JustinCapandPro.com/free resources. JustinCapandPro.com/free resources. You guys can check that out, and that'll take you to my free resources page on my website, where you guys will be able to you'll see right at the top it'll say new resources added, and you'll be able to get all those. It's a free download. Click it, get it, and you'll have my 30-day planner, my 7-day content planner, as well as all the notes from this workshop. And then as soon as I get off here, I'm going to throw my my lead tracking template in there as well, so you'll be able to get that as well, guys. So go to Justin Cap'n Pro. I'm going to put this in the chat stream as well. Go to JustinCapandPro.com/free resources. Grab that, and that'll get you that link. And you can get all these downloads, guys. Hopefully that was good for you. I appreciate you. Guys, if you enjoyed this, I would love for you to smash that like button, all right? Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not currently subscribed to me. I so appreciate you and your time and attention. I know an hour and a half of your time is so incredibly valuable. So I appreciate you spending your time with me this morning. Hopefully that was worth it for you. Guys, share it out to the people that you think might need this. Go ahead and share it out to Facebook or your groups if you got people that you think you want to get in here. I'm going to leave you with that for today, guys. Have a blessed day. Be intentional with your time today. Be intentional with your talent. Get after your goals. Get after that 30-day content mapping. And I can't wait to see what you guys do. All right. Take care. God bless. I love you all, and I'll see you all later. All right.